Good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are. Welcome to our Clear Light Community Chanting and Meditation. We do this on Thursdays in January for sure, and then because of the seasonal things, we may be doing it at different times after that. So if you want to know for sure, you can subscribe or subscribe to the newsletter on the Clear Light Community website, which is somcommunity.com. And we're going to be doing some chants that were compiled by Paramahansa Yogananda, and some of the chants were written by Paramahansa Yogananda. And we do some other traditional Indian chants also. And every session we do a audio of Yogacharya Oliver Black, who was SRF minister at Detroit Institute of Arts for many years, and in the late 60s we have been fortunate to have some of his audios of his instructions, yoga instructions in meditation, and it gives us kind of a pep talk. We're going to start with some chanting first, and before we start the chanting, we will have an opening prayer.
O Father, with folded hands I come to offer Thee my whole being. I saturate my prayers with deep love. Give me towards Thee the simple, sincere devotion of a child. May I intuit Thy nearness behind the words of my prayer. Teach me to feel Thee in all my emotions, to realize that Thy wisdom upholds my understanding, and to be conscious of my life as an expression of Thyself, the soul life. Om, peace. Amen.
For those of you who are here in the room, some of these chants will be included on the sheet that we passed out. Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha 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 Sharanam Sharanam 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 Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha. Night has flown, dawn has come. Wake, my children, wake, wake, my children, wake. Sitting in the asana of meditation, sitting in the asana of meditation, thinking of thy Guru's lotus feet, thinking of thy Guru's lotus feet. Night has flown, dawn has come. Wake, my children, wake, wake, my children, wake. Sitting in the asana of meditation, sitting in the asana of meditation, thinking of thy Guru's lotus feet, thinking of thy Guru's lotus feet. Night has come, dawn has come. Wake, my children, wake, wake, my children, wake. Sitting in the asana of meditation, thinking of thy Guru's lotus feet, thinking of thy Guru's lotus feet. Night has come, dawn has come. Wake, my children, wake, wake, my children, wake. Sitting in the asana of meditation, sitting in the asana of meditation, thinking of thy Guru's lotus feet, thinking of thy Guru's lotus feet. Night has come, dawn has come. Wake, my children, wake, wake, my children, wake. Sitting in the asana of meditation, sitting in the asana of meditation, thinking of thy Guru's lotus feet, thinking of thy Guru's lotus feet. Night has come. Wake, my children, wake, my children, wake. Sitting in the asana of meditation, sitting in the asana of meditation, thinking of thy Guru's lotus feet, thinking of thy Guru's lotus feet, thinking of thy Guru's lotus feet. Hello, Jane. Jane is watching from home. We're going to be doing some chants of Radha and Krishna. This one is on the sheet. I'm not sure what number it is. It's called Murali Krishna. Do you know what number it is?
12.
Number 12. It means beautiful, I believe. Murali Krishna, Mukunda Krishna, Mohana Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Murali Krishna, Mukunda Krishna, Mohana Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Murali Krishna,
Gopi Krishna, Gopala Krishna, Govardhana Dara Krishna Krishna. 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 Murali Krishna, Mukunda Krishna, Mohan Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Murali Krishna, Mukunda Krishna, Mohana Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Gopi Krishna, Gopala Krishna, Govardhana Dara Krishna Krishna. Gopi Krishna, Gopala Krishna, Govardhana Dara Krishna Krishna. Gopi Krishna, Gopala Krishna, Govardhana Dara Krishna Krishna. Murali Krishna, Mukunda Krishna, Mohana Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Gopi Krishna, Gopala Krishna, Govardhana Dara Krishna Krishna. Gopi Krishna, Gopala Krishna, Gopi Krishna, Gopala Krishna, Govardhana Dara Krishna Krishna. Gopi Krishna, Gopala Krishna, Govardhana Dara Krishna Krishna. Murali Krishna, Mukunda Krishna, Mohana Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Murali Krishna, Mukunda Krishna, Mohana Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Now we will have a reading.
Cast unceasingly the seeds of thy blessings into the prayer-plowed soil of my heart. May they grow into plants bearing precious fruits of self-realization. Let every vine of my activities wear clusters of joy. Teach me to press divine wine from the daily ripened grapes of little joys. On each thorny bush of my trials, mayest thou grow fadeless flowers of spiritual understanding. Oh, peace. Amen.
Spirit and nature dancing together. Spirit and nature dancing together. Oh, spirit and nature dancing together. Spirit and nature dancing together. Victory to spirit and victory to nature. Victory to spirit and victory to nature. Radha, 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 Govinda Jai, Radha, Radha, Govinda Jai, Radha, Radha, Govinda Jai, Radha, Spirit and nature dancing together. Spirit and nature dancing together. Victory to spirit and victory to nature. Victory to spirit and victory to nature. Radha, 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 Govinda Jai, Radha, 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 Govinda Jai, Radha, 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 Govinda Jai, Radha, Radha. Spirit and nature dancing together. Spirit and nature dancing together. Victory to spirit and victory to nature. 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 Radha, 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 Govinda Jai, Radha, Radha, Govinda Jai, Radha, Radha, Govinda Jai, Radha, Spirit and nature dancing together. Spirit and nature dancing together. Victory to spirit and victory to nature. Victory to spirit and victory to nature. Radha, 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 Govinda Jai, Radha, Radha, Govinda Jai, Radha, Radha, Govinda Jai, Radha, Radha, Govinda Jai, Radha. Radha Krishna Govinda, Radha Krishna Govinda. This is on the sheet. Radha Krishna Govinda, Radha Krishna Govinda, Radha Krishna Govinda, Radha Krishna Govinda, Radha Krishna Govinda Jai, Radha Krishna Govinda Jai, Radha Krishna Govinda, 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 Radha Krishna Govinda Jai, Radha Krishna Govinda Jai, Radha Krishna Govinda, Krishna Govinda, Krishna Govinda, Radha Krishna Govinda, Krishna Govinda, Radha 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 Krishna Govinda Jai, Radha Krishna Govinda Jai, Radha Krishna Govinda, Radha Krishna Govinda, 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 Radha Krishna Govinda, Radha Krishna Govinda Jai, Radha Krishna Govinda Jai, Krishna Govinda, Krishna Govinda, Krishna Govinda, Radha Krishna Govinda, Krishna Govinda, Krishna Govinda, Radha Krishna Govinda, Radha Krishna Govinda, Krishna Govinda Jai, Krishna Govinda Jai, Krishna Govinda, Krishna Govinda, Krishna Govinda, My Krishna is blue, the Tama tree is blue. My Krishna is blue, the Tama tree is blue. So I do love the Tama tree. So I do love the Tama tree. So I do love thee, my Tama tree, and thy honor do put me high on a branch of the Tama tree, on a branch of the Tama tree. Krishna sat
Now, as we get ready for our devotional meditation this morning, let us all sit uprightly in our seats, our spine straight, shoulder blades together, chin level, leaning forward for balance. Now let us sit this way just for a moment or two, because this is the first part of yoga meditation, or anyone's meditation for that matter, because you can always meditate better and more effectively in posture than you can with many other positions that you may take that is not conducive to establishing mental quiet within yourself, not alone to get the body so it can be forgotten as in a much quicker time. It seems that the body, that the scientific posture for meditation is as described, and that's the way it's taught in the science of yoga. And all yogis you see that meditate all sit with their spine straight and have the best posture for meditation. And then when you direct your attention to the point between your eyebrows, when you lift your eyes and focus their attention at the point between the eyebrows, that is the eye mudra for meditation. And the reason for that is when the eyes are postured in that posture, looking at the point between the eyebrows. And the reason for that is that you would like to get behind the darkness of closed eyes, because the light of the world is just behind the darkness of closed eyes that we read about in the scriptures or in the philosophies, or as reports the saint, seer, and sage of all ages. The mind is dark and black when you close your eyes, but the mind of the seer, or the saint, or the sage, or the developed yogi, all that blackness that you see is dazzling light. That is the light behind the darkness of closed eyes. And when you're able to free yourself from all of your desires, thoughts, worries, and cares, puts it in a phrase that covers it, practically covers everything. But the idea of meditation is that when you practice every day and get yourself used to it, you are able to withdraw through practice the effects of your mind, your agitated mind, or the active mind, and cause it to rest and become quiet and still. And it's not a phenomenon or anything like that. I don't think you would call it a phenomenon. But if you want to see within yourself, or do it as directed by the scriptures, the kingdom of heaven is inside of you, and the kingdom of heaven is at hand, and now is the accepted time, as we're taught in the Christian scriptures. Anytime you can get yourself quiet and still enough, and when your mind is free from stress or from the activity of thinking, well then, when all of that is out of the road, then light shines. Your mind opens up, as it were. It seems to open up, or the darkness vanishes, just like the sun rising on a new day. Whereas the darkness gone, something like that, and then you can see what's within yourself. It isn't all blackness, all just blackout or something like that. Not if you knew your own mind, the true nature of your own mind, and the possibility of getting into the mind so that you can get into the tenuous states of your own mind. You got to get the disturbing thing, or the bar, or the barrier removed, and then you can see, as the saint seer or sage or the yogi the yogi sees. So in yoga, the practice of the yogi is to regain control of his own mind. Now, it isn't that he controls the nature of his mind, but he works a way to get the obstacles from out of his mind and free himself from that in order to see what's in his own mind. You see? Like that. You don't need any drugs or any anesthetics. You don't need anything to do that. You couldn't produce the real thing. Don't make it ever what you did. You'll produce some strain of the mind or something like that, but you won't do nature's way of allowing yourself to see within yourself, unless you do it through the art and science of meditation and through relaxation and inner stillness. And that's a very wonderful way to know that it can be done, is when through relaxation and inner rest. You not only get a tremendous good out of it, but you get health out of it. It's just like a rest between sprints, or like a runner sprints. You can't sprint all the time. You got to stop and rest, and then you can do another one. And like that. So when you're talking about meditation as it should be taught, or it should be looked at, and why you practice meditation and what it'll produce, well, then it's an engaging thing. It's a wonderful thing to practice every day. And the good you get out of it is just tremendous. And everyone is so full of stresses and strains without any rest period, you see, and it's just a stress and a strain all the time. Well, something's going to crack after a while. It just can't hold up. It can't sustain itself unless you rest it. You rest your body in a way, you're active all day, so you go to bed at night to rest. Well, why not stay up all night? Why stop? Why stop your daily activity? Why do you take a rest? Well, the same thing is with the mind, but when you go to bed, you're not relaxing the mind. Your mind is just as much strain as it ever was, because the subconscious strains begin to be active. And if you learn the way yogis meditate, and then you rest the mind and give it a period of time when it can be free from tension. And you say, well, I go to sleep and I rest. Well, but you don't, though, because you don't rest in the sense that you say you rest your body. You rest it a little bit, but you're not all rested just because you go to sleep and rest all night. You're not rested. You can hardly get out of bed. You're not finished. You haven't completed anything, really. But once in a while, if you can thoroughly relax, and then you can rest and go into deep sleep and then refresh yourself. But you can refresh yourself in meditation. If you can get your mind relaxed and quit thinking about your troubles every 24 hours of the day and take a few minutes out, and as I say, it takes practice. It's a science. And that's what yoga is a scientific way to realize God, or to find the answer to your problems and all those things. And the better, more expert we become in meditation, the more access we have to the final answers to all the problems of life. And all those that work by inspiration, poets and musicians and composers and all sorts of people in different fields, they get to musing on their subject, and they just relax and muse and like that, and they just withdraw their thoughts and ideas from all other things, and all at once something pops in the mind, you see, that has tremendous value many, many times. And so we should all do that. If you can't produce anything the way we're doing it, why not change? Why not do something? Look at it from a scientific point of view. And the closer you get to your goal, the happier you'll be, and be full of joy and life after a while, and everything will look better, more promising at least, and it inspires faith and purpose. So that's why it's basically scientific. Not that you're following any religion or any dogma or anything like that, no. All these dogmatic religions should be teaching just what you're listening to now. I mean more, make it so that it becomes more effective, so that devotees know what they're trying to accomplish and how they can accomplish it, and do it personally. Why run around after somebody else all the time? You think they're wonderful, they're great men and all that, when you're just as great within yourself, if you develop yourself. All those people did, all those that we look forward to, they put a little bit more extra effort in their whatever they're trying to accomplish, and in the same way that everyone else has the opportunity to do. So it all makes sense, it's practical, and it's a thing that because of the complex problems of the world and situations and circumstances, and the only real answers come from within anyway, so why not go within to find the goal to find the purpose of life and the answer to all its problems and like that. The Gita says, sequestered should he sit, steadfastly meditating, his thoughts controlled, his passions laid away, quit of belongings. In a fair still spot, not too much raised, nor yet too low, let him abide his goods a deerskin and the kusa grass. There setting hard his mind upon the one, restraining heart and senses, silent, calm, let him accomplish yoga and achieve pureness of soul, holding immovable his body, neck, and head, his gaze absorbed upon his nose end, tranquil in spirit, free of fear, intent upon his brahmachari vow, musing on me, lost in the thought of me. That yogan, so devoted, so controlled, comes to the peace beyond, my peace, the peace of high nirvana. Then it goes on to say in another place, in the 6th chapter in the Bhagavad Gita, or the Song Celestial, or in the Book of Religion on Self-Restraint, he who shall draw as the wise tortoise draws his 4 feet safe back under its shield, his 5 frail senses back under the spirit's buckler from the world which else assails them, such bears wisdom's mark. Things that solicit sense hold back from the self-governed. Nay, it may come, the appetites of him who live beyond depart, arouse no more. Yet may it chance that the governed mind shall sometimes feel the sense storms sweep and rest strong self-controlled by the roots. Let him conquer this, let him sit on me intent. That man alone is wise who keeps the mastery of himself. And then it goes on to say, if one ponders on objects of the sense, there springs attraction. From attraction grows desire. Desire flames to fierce passion. Passion breeds recklessness. Then the memory all betrayed lets noble purpose go and saps the mind, till purpose, mind, and man are all undone. But if he deals with objects of the sense, not loving and not hating, making them serve his free soul which rests serenely Lord, lo, such a man comes to tranquility, and out of that tranquility shall rise the end and healing of his earthly pains, since the will governed sets the soul at peace. And it must be accomplished through practice, it says in another place. Steadfastly the will must toil thereto, till efforts end in ease, and thought has passed from thinking. shaking off all longings bred by dreams of fame and gain, shutting the doorways of the senses close by watchful ward. So step by step it comes to give to peace assured and heart assuaged, when the mind dwells self-wrapped and the soul broods cumberless.
Father, help us to develop our powers of discrimination. May we be not satisfied with fulfillments of earthly hopes, essentially ego-tainted and limited. O boundless being, transcendent treasure, teach us to seek the highest goal, realization of Thee.
Namaste. We will be here next Thursday, and it will be our last Thursday from Vanderbilt. And thank you from Clear Light Community and Song of the Morning Rage. Thank you.